All right, let's start with a big story that is coming in at this hour, where India has reacted to the results of Maldives presidential elections, calling it as a triumph of democracy. Now, India has also said that it hoped that the island nation's election body will confirm the official results as soon as possible. The Maldives poll body has said that it will announce the results only on the 30th of September. Now, in a statement, the Indian Foreign Ministry has said, and I quote, "We welcome the successful completion of the third presidential election process in Maldives, which, according to preliminary information, Ibrahim Mohamed Solih has won. We heartily congratulate Ibrahim Mohamed Solih on his victory and hope that the Election Commission will officially confirm the results at the earliest. This election marks not only the triumph of democratic forces in the Maldives, but also reflects the firm commitment to the values of democracy and the rule of law, in keeping with her neighbourhood-first policy. India looks forward to working closely with Maldives in further deepening our partnership," unquote. Remember, India has been closely watching the elections in its maritime neighbour Maldives to try and find out as to how free and fair the elections will be. The election process is now over. The counting process is also pretty much complete, but the official results will be declared only on the 30th of September. And for more on this, we are joined in by our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, who's joining us live for this. Well, Siddhant, this is an interesting and an important development that has taken place, and also the Indian government has welcomed the preliminary results that have come out so far.
Well, this is something New Delhi was waiting for a long time, a regime change in Maldives. We know that the current president, Yamin, who will continue till November, had become an albatross around the neck of Delhi, and that is why New Delhi was quick to come out with this statement saying that this is a triumph for democratic forces in Maldives, and New Delhi, under its neighborhood first policy, it wants to continue with Maldives. And throughout past few months, we have seen how the situation between the two countries have deteriorated. There was this policy under the Yamin government, India First policy. Though this policy continued on paper, off paper it was reversed. The Maldivian government wanted to give back the two helicopters India had gifted, and it had increasingly become pro-Beijing, something that worries New Delhi a lot. And today that worry, of course, has subsided. I'm here in New York, where the entire Ministry of External Affairs is present. All the top bureaucrats, along with the minister herself, Sushma Swaraj, who will be speaking at the UNGA. Right. But of course, there is a smile on their faces today, and they told me that they will soon comment. And finally, the statement is out. Morning, of course, India time, but here it's late evening.
Absolutely, indeed, Siddhant. And also, just to check with you, the fact of the matter is, in Maldives under Abdullah Yamin, it was increasingly seen that China was in fact increasing its sway there. But now, with a different government that is likely to come in, will the Indian government be able to regain the space which had been ceded to the Chinese?
Well, Mr. Ibrahim, he's a joint opposition candidate, a person who was backed by Nasheed, who is pro-India, we all know, and he even called for India's intervention after Yamin overturned the Supreme Court ruling, the 2nd of February Supreme Court ruling, calling Yamin to return back. So he's a pro-Indian person, and India, of course, would like to engage with it. But of course, the worry has subsided because under Yamin, as we have mentioned, he was increasingly pro-Chinese, increasingly pro-Beijing. And remember the location of this country, bang in the center of the Indian Ocean, on the crossroads of the connecting sea lanes between Africa to Asia, and Chinese presence there being there. Remember, he had signed FTA with China overnight. That worried India a lot. So Chinese presence bang in the neighborhood of India worried New Delhi a lot. So that worry subsides today because this guy is pro-India, the new person is pro-India, and that of course will give India an edge India was losing under the Yamin government.
Absolutely, indeed. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Siddhant Sibal, for joining us from New York and getting us the latest on this developing story.